Okay, it says, now 29 is the important one, okay? So it says find 3 consecutive even integers, all right? So remember, consecutive evens would be like 2, 4, 6, 8, those are consecutive. All right, now we're talking about how many though? 3, right? Since we're talking about 3, all right, let's go ahead. Your first is x. Your second number would be what? Say it again. X plus 2. And your third would be x plus 4. And look, guys, we've all heard rain before. Okay, that shouldn't be a focus. All right? Now we're going to translate. Okay, here we go. It says, the sum of the first and third. This is the first, and this is the third. So it says, the sum of the first and third. So what do I do? Add the first and the third. If I add the first and third, it's going to be what? 2x plus 4. Thank you. 2x plus 4. Now it says, is. What does is mean in math? Equals. Thank you. Now the next part. We're saying 22 less than. How do I write 22 less than?
Oh, I just have a question. How about 2x plus 4?
You added the first and the third. You see it? X plus x. Agreed? How do I write 22 less than? Yes. No, 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 no. 22 less than is what? Minus 22. You with me? I know what you're thinking. That's okay. Minus 22. And then it's what? 3 times the second. And again, this is the second. So it'd be 3 times x plus 2. Everybody take a look at that now and make sure you're okay with that. Everybody good? Now we just have to solve it. 2x plus 4 equals 3x plus 6 minus 22. Combining terms, 2x plus 4 equals 3x minus 16. So I agree with that? Adding 16, subtracting 2x. So x equals what?
20.
X equals 20. So it says find the 3 numbers. So what are the 3 numbers? 20, 22, and 24. Thank you. Look right here, kiddo. Evens. All right, they're not consecutive. You know what I mean? Consecutive evens is plus 2. Consecutive odds is plus 2. Okay? Everybody okay with that? All right, let's look at 31. Domain. Domain are just the what? X values, right? So I'm going to show you the best way to find the X values. All right? I think it would be good if you just plot at each point and push it down to the x-axis. So this right here, this right here, this right here, those are all the x-coordinates. Does everybody agree with that? Those are the x-coordinates. So the domain would be -1, 0, 1, and 3. Everybody okay with that?
So you would just do the same thing with the range.
Yeah, if I had to do the range, though, I'd take it to the y value.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the correct answer was A.
So like the left side of like the is it negative or is it like?
So if you're asking me, this point right here is negative 1, 1. This right here is 0, negative 2. This is 1, comma 3. And this is, what is that, 3, comma 0.
You're trying to find the x.
Yeah, you just list the x values. I said find the range, you'd list the y values. Okay? Yes, so it's the x. That was the question. Yes.
Is it often easy or from these two grades?
No, but in this case it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I think that's why they're showing you. It's just easier to write it that way. You can see it, visualize it better if you just look from the left to the right instead of just picking the dots randomly. Okay, let's look at 33. So which one of those was the table? Does everybody agree it's C? 4, 3, negative 1, 4, 3, negative 2, negative 2, 1. Everybody okay with that? All right, let's check out 35. Somebody help me out with 35. What was that answer? Somebody said D. Does somebody agree? Everybody okay with it being D? I'm sure everybody can plot points. So 37, is that a function? Is that a function?
No. Yeah, that is.
Yes.
Is a function the same?
All of the x values are different. All right, this would not be a function, Carly, if I did this. Look. Now it would not be a function because the 5 is listed twice.
I just got confused in function that all of them are different colors.
All right? Is this a function? 1, 2, 3, negative 6, negative 3. Are they all different? Yep. There we have it. Everybody good? So f of 2. What do I have to do with that? Oh, well, f of negative 3. What do I do with f of negative 3, Carter?
Yeah. It's 3 times 72 minus 7.
Good. Negative 16 is perfect. Perfect. Everybody okay with that?
Wait a minute.
All right, let's look at 43. G of 4, parentheses, 4 squared minus 3 times 4. 16 minus 12 equals 4. Everybody okay with that? Okay, let's look at 45. G of negative 1 plus 6 equals. Now remember, parentheses, and then what? Plus 6. 1 plus 3 plus 6. Final answer I have is 10. Anybody else have any questions or concerns about that? Any questions or concerns? Yes, ma'am. Yep. Yeah. All right, now, go ahead. Right? All right, shall we go backwards, start with 44 and go the other direction this time? All right, let's do that, guys. Let's go. All right, G of negative 5 equals negative 5 squared minus 3 times negative 5. So that equals 25 plus 15, which equals 40. Any questions? All right, let's take a look at.
Shouldn't it be negative?
How about why is it positive? Because if it was negative, that would make me what? That would make me wrong. Right?
Why isn't it?
This negative squared is positive.
So every time you do that, it's like negative square.
If you're making a substitution. So like, for example, if I just said what's negative 3 squared, you should tell me that's negative 9. But if I tell you what's negative 3 squared, you would tell me that's positive. All right, 42. F of 4 minus 9 equals 3 times 4 minus 7 minus 9. You okay with that? 12 minus 7 minus 9 equals. Anybody else get negative 4? Yes.
Why would it be negative minus 7 minus 9? What does it matter? Does it matter?
Look right here.
Yeah, but since
This is your F of 4. Okay? Very good. That's right. Okay, F of 2. Now here should be mental math for you. 3 times 2 minus 7. Yeah, negative 1. Everybody okay with that? Is 38 a function? So what is the domain? What's the domain?
Negative 2, 1, 3, 4.
That's correct. All right, domain of the x's. The range of the what? So somebody tell me what the answer was. Is that accurate? Everybody okay? So which one of those is the mapping? Did they write them in order? No. See, sometimes they care, sometimes they don't. No. Does everybody agree it's A though?
Yeah.
All right, that's not that hard. All right, let's check out 32. Which one is a function? Is B a function? We talked about that yesterday. It's a line, right? So it's a function. All right. And then, because Justice is very good at taking standardized tests, you could say the answer is what, Justice? Because why? Yeah, you just eliminate. Right, so we know A is not a function. We know C is not a function. And then we know D is not a function. So that line is the function. All lines are functions. All right, all lines are functions. There's only one that is not, and it is a vertical line. That's not a function. All right, but outside of that, I'll talk to you more about it later. All right, you don't really have to know that for the test. All right, if I put a line on the test, it's automatically going to be a what? Yes. All right. 30. What's the answer for 30, guys? Anybody have any issues with that? Bless you. Now let's talk about this right here. Laura is 6 years younger. How do I write 6 years younger? 6 years younger than who? John. That's what you should be writing down. So wait a minute. If Laura is how much? If Laura is 12, bless you. Okay, don't be sorry. You're thinking about it. You see it? Yeah. So to solve that, add 6. John is what? 18. Now, does that make sense? Is Laura 12, right? So is Laura 6 years younger? Yeah. No. No, I'm just showing you that would be a good way to do it. Right? Because that's training your brain to think in terms of variables and equations. Okay? So I wish some of you just going to say, well, obviously it was 18. Right? That's kind of obvious. Right? All right, here we go. I'm glad we're doing 26 because it is a fraction problem. All right, so please concentrate with me now. Now, which one's bigger, 3/4 or 2/5? Right, so I prefer to subtract 2/5 from both sides. And then subtract 8. All right, now we need a common denominator. What's the common denominator, guys? 20, right? So if I'm doing 3/4 minus 2/5, here's how I'd hope you would do it. The common denominator is 20. All right? If the common denominator is 20, what do I multiply this fraction by? 5. So that would be a what? 15. And what do I multiply the second fraction by? 4. So that'd be 15 minus what? 8. Okay? So 15 minus 8 is what? So it's 7/20x. Anybody have any questions with that? Yes. Why is it negative? Three-fourths is bigger than 2/5, right? Okay, so now how do I solve a fraction? Multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply this by what? 20/7. So what happens over here? These guys do what? Now can I reduce the 13 and the 7? No. So what's 13 times 20? What's 2 times 13? Come on, guys. 260. Thank you. Positive or negative? Yeah. So we would say negative 260/7. Bless you. Negative 260/7. Anybody have any issues with that? Okay. That's a good review for fractions. Good review for fractions. Continue on, guys. Let's do 24. All right, let's distribute here. Carter? No, I want you to stop being distracting. Distribute. All right, Carter, tell me what happens when you distribute. That's right. No. Now the next step is to go ahead and say yeah, I would do plus 25. So 4x is equal to what? Are we okay with that? 13 over 4. Everybody good? All right, here we go. 22. All right, now here we're just distributing a negative. So this would be 6x minus x minus 3. And what is 6x minus x? 5x. Gosh. Good question. It's like a negative 1. Do you agree? So this times this, and this times this. All right? Everybody happy with that? All right. Now, subtract 5x. Divide by negative 2.
So why did you subtract 3x?
The problem is you didn't have to move the minus 3 to the other side. You agree with that? Right. Good for you.
Why did you put it in fraction?
Well, because 3 divided by 2 doesn't reduce. Do you agree with that? Sure? Yeah, x is 3. All right, let's knock out 20. $12x minus 28 plus 10 equals, everybody's got to pay attention on this one. So now when I combine terms here, now you should be saying, well, that's a little odd. Yeah, it is the identity. Thank you. Very important. Does everybody see that? 12x minus 18 always equals 12x minus 18. That's why it's called an identity. No, that's no solution. Yeah. So this you could say is all real numbers. That's how we write it in the future. Thank you for saying that. All right. So we just say x is all real numbers. All right. In this book, they just say that it is an identity. And somebody asked me a question, well, how do I know it's an identity? It's an identity because when does 12x minus 18 equal 12x minus 18? Always. That's why it's an identity. 12x minus 18 equals 12x minus 18. Come on. I'm not done. All right, here we go. 18. Distribute the 4. What's half of 4? Right? Minus 24. Does everybody agree with that? Now you got to be careful. What's 2/3 of 6? 4x, right? Because 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Or you could divide. What? Or you could do 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, now everybody try, just to make sure you understand, what's 2/3 of 36? I think it's 24, right? Because why? 36 divided by 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. That's another good fraction review right there. Make sure you're okay with that. Carter, you understand me? Okay. So now we just do minus 2x and plus 24. Now try to trick you on this one. 2x equals, what happens to the left side? It all cancels out. So that's not no solution. X equals what? X equals 0. 0 is a number. X equals 0. X equals 0. Yes. Zero, right? You see it or not? Good? All right. X equals 0. Continue on. Here we go. Distribute. 8x minus 20 equals negative 28. Add 20. 8x equals negative 8. X equals negative 1. Yes. You see it? Good. Good. It's important to catch your mistakes. Let's check out. Oh, this is a good one. When does x equal x plus 1, ladies? That's right. No solution. X can't be the same as itself plus 1. There is no solution. Everybody okay with that? All right. Let's check out 12. All right, here we had a decimal just to make sure. All right, we add 1.5. So 2x is equal to. Now we're obviously going to subtract those. And is the answer going to be positive or negative? So that'd be negative 5.2. And then when we divide by 2, thank you. Don't forget the negative. Negative 2.6. Yeah, you could subtract x from both sides.
So we can do that for like every.
Yeah, and you get 0 equals 1.
No, like rewrite it, like put like x plus 1 equals x.
Yeah. Still no solution, right? All right, here we go. Number 10. Subtract 3 from both sides. Yep. Anybody have any issues? Now here we could just multiply both sides by 4. Do you agree with that? Because you're just getting rid of division. You can also see this portion and just cross multiply. All right, but I prefer just see it as multiplication. So x is equal to 8/3. Anybody have any issue with that? Yes. Remember, this is like 4 over 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. Another good fraction.
So you really
No, you leave it as 8/3. All right, subtract a half. Now I need a common denominator. What's common denominator? 10. So 1/5 is how many tenths? 2 tenths minus 1/2 is. So what is it? Negative 3 tenths. Right? All right, here we go. Multiply both sides by. Good job. And so x equals what? X equals 32. And then x equals, should be able to say negative 13. Is that it? Oh, okay, that's it. Now look, just stay quiet. Go through the ones you made a mistake on. Highlight them. All right, practice. This is what you're going to see tomorrow. Exactly what you're going to see. All right?